I'm not sure if it's my divorce or just my bed, but quality sleep has been my latest challenge. So I ordered the most popular mattress on Amazon and incorporated some sleep maxing techniques in hopes of finally getting a good night's rest. Wish me luck. Everybody once I talk to
The light is fading fast. From this old town we gotta go. Our bags are packed, so what we waiting for? There's no point in delaying what we both already know. Escape this time with me.
Howdy, welcome back. Thank you all for your continued support. Man, you guys are amazing. All the comments, all the messages, like you guys are incredible. Woke up this morning, made my son breakfast, and now I've got to go to work. But unfortunately, it's not until 4:00 p.m. Now, I keep telling you guys that I'm a creative entrepreneur and I've got this crazy schedule, and sometimes that's really hard for people to conceptualize. But today is the kind of example I'm talking about. You know, some days I'm in at 7:00 in the morning, other days I'm in at 4 p.m., which means my sleep schedule kind of gets out of control, and this week is going to be one of those weeks. Unfortunately, I got to go home, take some melatonin, try to wake up at about 2:30. I got a 20-minute drive, and hopefully I won't be late and I won't feel all groggy. I hate taking medicine in order to sleep, but when I have to sleep during the day after waking up early in the morning, there's no other way for me to shut my body down. So in line with my winter arc and my self-improvement, I think the most logical thing to do now is to improve my sleep habits. Like, I just don't feel great in the morning. You know, I'm on my feet all day at work, and maybe that has something to do with it, but I've been doing my stretches, but I think for sure there's something up with the bed. It's just too soft. So I went ahead, ordered a new mattress, and it's at home inflating right now. It's like the most popular mattress on Amazon. So I'm hoping that it improves my sleep. It takes like between 48 and 72 hours to fully inflate. So I'm going to give it all the time it needs, because when I'm ready to rest, I want it to be comfortable. Like, no more uncomfortable beds. I'm over that. But let me get home, take some melatonin, get some sleep, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. Insomnia, a sleep disorder in which a person has trouble falling and or staying asleep. A number of factors can trigger insomnia, including divorce, disturbance in your sleep schedule, stress, and discomfort at night. As my son would say, I guess I'm cooked. All right, so it's 4:00 in the morning. I just got home from work, and fortunately, but unfortunately, that package right there was waiting for me. That package is my new bed frame, and I got a soccer game at 9:00, so I think I'm just going to go ahead, stay awake, and put it together now. It's very difficult to sleep this early in the morning. I'm afraid if I go to sleep, I'll miss the game. The sun's going to come up. It's going to make it super difficult to sleep. Plus, I'm just cutting it too close. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I don't know if I'm going to record it. Like, honestly, I'm only even including this because it's relevant. Like, these are my challenges. But if I were to take a shower, lay down, it'd probably be like 5:15, and then, it's almost time to wake up. So I'll just knock this out, drink some coffee, and then I can sleep in my bed when I get back from the game. And I don't know if I actually needed a bed frame. When I moved, I brought the old bed, but I'm definitely missing some pieces. Like, it's still sturdy and everything, but I feel like I might have lost some of the support because I'm missing some of like the the slats or whatever you call them. I'm missing some pieces. So just figured if I'm getting a new mattress, I might as well get a new bed if I'm complaining about comfort and support. So let's knock this out, go to this game, and then get back and get some sleep. If I'm being real, I might be trying to convince myself I'm not lonely. I have an incredible family and social network, but there's definitely a difference between that and having a partner. Now, after a decade of marriage and an exhausting divorce, I also don't think I'm interested in changing that. Like, my son is my priority, and as long as my loneliness isn't affecting my parenting, I'm cool with solitude. I simply don't have the capacity to give anything more, at least not until I get my lawn back. Besides, even in marriage, I realize that chasing happiness is a never-ending pursuit. I'm content, not greedy. I came into this thinking that my bed was going to solve all my problems, but while I wait for my mattress to inflate, I started doing a little bit of research, and I think that my divorce might have a little more to do with things than I thought. It's not just that I'm uncomfortable. If you actually look at the timestamps in some of my videos, you'll notice that my sleep schedule is very irregular, not just because of my work schedule, but also because I'm not staying asleep all night. I'm waking up at 1:30, 2:30 in the morning when I'm supposed to actually wake up at like 4:30 or 4 o'clock. My divorce has caused a lot of stress, and it's also caused a lot of irregularity. Like, I've had multiple addresses in the last couple of years, and between moving around a bunch and now I'm in a new time zone, like, there's been a lot of changes, and I'm maybe not giving that the space that it deserves. Like, that's a whole thing all in itself. I did have a night routine before, even with my work, and the word routine is really what's changed. Like, the routine was I was sleeping in the same house next to the same person, even if it wasn't at the same time. Now I'm finally settling in, but up until now, it has been a bit chaotic. So I think it's even more important for me specifically to have a routine. Like, I'm pretty good about doing things around the certain time, but my body probably really isn't acclimated to all this. So looking into these techniques and seeing what I can do better with my sleep, I'm going to start there. Like, I'm going to start with a routine. I got to start putting myself to bed at the same time. I did my video on my 4 a.m. morning routine, and it's funny thinking about that video. It feels like I'm just going nonstop, and it's not even necessarily that I'm going because I'm just so busy. Like, there's downtime in that schedule. I'm not running through my morning. I'm like chilling. But then in the evenings, I'm just going, and then I'm trying to get to bed at a certain time. Like, my son goes to bed at 7:30 p.m. every single night, and maybe I don't need to stay up until 10 o'clock. They say you need between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep every night. If I go to bed at 10, that would put me at waking up at 5. I need to wake up at 4, so let's say I should be in bed at 9. And, these numbers can change. These are not hardcore rules. I like a little bit of give in my schedule, so I don't plan things super tight. So if I really just wind down at 8 o'clock, and from 8 o'clock to 8:30, I do nothing, at least for a while, I think that'll go a long way into helping me develop a consistent schedule to help my circadian rhythm get where it needs to be. I think I've just tended to try to keep myself busy in hopes of not really thinking about this stuff. And the journaling and, I guess, visualizing all this stuff is probably helping me a little bit more than I thought it would.
Wait, hold up, Q.
feel like I'm at the tippy top of my game, looking down at the rafters. I had to son these boys, can't leave them bastards. A lot of dudes, just some undercover actress. I don't fall for it, I'm privy to all your tactics. Yeah, so try again, this time take a vitamin. Yeah, invite them in, welcome to the lion's den. And I'm Mufasa, big boss in charge of coming in like a bull. You see me raising the stock up.
So today started out fantastic. My back feels amazing, or at least better than it used to. I definitely did not wake up with that same feeling I usually have, but I didn't sleep that long. I woke up super early, 3 o'clock. Checked the election results, no comment. The original mattress was a Sealy. I spent $800 on it, plus delivery and fees and taxes or whatever. So it was a little bit over $1,000. The new bed is the Zinus. I'll put the information underneath it, but I'm not comparing these two beds. I mean, for different people, there's different beds for different people, but for me, this felt so much better. I jumped back and forth to see what the difference was. And the other bed, I was like sinking into it. It's just way, way, way too soft. This one's more firm, which initially doesn't seem like it would be more comfortable, but for a full night's sleep, for just sitting on it, for everything else when I'm interacting with this bed, this feels so much better. I decided also to switch up the bed frame. It was solid, but I got to the final screw and it did not go in all the way. So I actually ordered a replacement. So I'm going to have to take this bed completely apart and then rebuild the bed later on, but it's worth it. I don't want to have this bed, complain about it, and then remember that all I had to do was return it when I first purchased it. It'll be worth it in the long run, even if it's a hassle now. Other thing, not a great morning for creation. So get out and focus on business for a little bit. I think that'll turn the day around. When I decided to start making videos again on this channel, my goal was honestly to make everything super cheap. Like, I was not going to buy a new camera. I was going to shoot it all on my DJI Osmo Pocket 1. But then I kept dropping it. And now that I'm dropping my camera, I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to have to replace that soon. Like, I'm literally already losing functionality on it. It still works. I'm not going to complain about it. But if I replace it, it'll just be to probably get the same camera just in better condition, because I don't want to keep dropping it and then it no longer works. Like, I'd rather get rid of it before, since the hinge on the screen is already broken and it's already not flipping right side up. It might be smart to just swap it out for a new one now before it gets worse, because I imagine I'm going to drop it again. Like, that's the thing about these vlog cameras and the way I'm shooting. Like, I'm using my camera. This is not, oh, I'm just gonna have it on sticks all the time. Like, I like the fact that my camera's cheap, because I can do all types of wild stuff with it that I would not want to do with like a $4,000 camera. It is so beautiful out here. I don't know the name of this place, but people are always out walking through it. They film stuff out here. A lot of leading lines, a lot of really cool places to shoot, but the rain is messing up my shot. So good thing I have the GoPro. I know this audio is not what it usually sounds like, but just bringing you guys along for a nice little walk. We'll come back when the weather's nicer, or even when it's colder and there's snow and not rain. It's just rain. I don't have a weather seal camera, so I can't really mess around out here. I know some of you guys been asking about cinematic stuff and how do I film certain things. Just hit me up on Instagram. I really don't want to make those videos on this channel just yet, because if you've been around for a while, you might remember that at one point I created a separate channel. It started to kind of blow up. It got out of control. It was exciting at first, but then I quickly realized what happens if you don't control how you build your audience. And so I'm trying to be very strategic about what I do this time around. I feel like if I drop some of those videos right now, they would change the direction of the channel, bring in a completely different audience that I'm looking for. So I'm not ready to do that at this point. If you hit me up on Instagram, I'll answer any questions you have, no problem. I'm just not ready to drop a video on some of that stuff just yet. They're coming, but probably no time soon, especially if I stay this busy at work. I'm not on my board today because I wanted to get out and try to find more hidden gems like this before the weather changes. Sometimes I'm going a little bit too fast on my board to find this kind of stuff. And I've been running across a bunch of locations just by accident. Sometimes it's just hard to see from the main road, and the traffic just gets so crazy that I have to focus on just what's in front of me. I can't really be looking around the way I thought I'd be able to, but it's all good. You guys know I'm on my winter arc right now. Just looking ahead, my word of the year is going to be curiosity. Now, 2024 was all about growth. For years, I would go on and on about the importance of consistency because, I think you kind of look, or at least I had been looking at like my path or success or whatever I was striving towards as more of a linear thing. But, with my divorce and taking a step back and really reflecting, I realized that sometimes it wasn't consistency. Sometimes it was growth that happened because I was taking a step back or I slowed down, and it allowed me to learn a skill or form a relationship or read a book or something that catapulted me past the next level to the level after that. So with that, this year was focusing on growth, and I feel like I've made pretty tremendous strides in that department. And going forward, I want to think about curiosity because now that I've had that space and I've had some reflections and I've grown a bunch, I want to explore. Like, it's experiencing new things, meeting new people, going new places, just trying new foods. Just the world has so much to offer. And sometimes, we're grinding away consistently and we don't get a chance to take advantage of those things. And that's how things like this pass me by. Like, sometimes you're just moving too fast. Now I'm in a place where I can get out and show my son some new adventures, and maybe if I'm lucky, have a few of my own. All right, I'm not trying to say this is the best mattress of all time, but I slept amazing last night. I woke up, made breakfast, took my kid off to school, and then came back and took a nap, which I never do. But today is the day the new mattress arrives, so I'm going to have to redo this whole thing. But I also decided to order some blackout panels for the window. Now, I'm not a huge fan of blackout windows specifically because I like the way the light looks when it comes in. But I keep complaining about, or I keep noting that my schedule is always changing. And part of that change is I get off late, which means I now have to sleep during the day. And it's super difficult to sleep during the day. So it totally makes sense for me to have some blackout panels. So I went ahead and ordered those. Those should arrive as well. And I think I'm going to just keep going with trying to find more techniques in order to help me get better sleep. Because when I was in the kitchen cooking this morning, there was a moment when I bent over to pick something up, and then I realized I didn't have that little hitch in my back that I usually have when I roll out of bed. There's usually some moment in the morning where I'm like acclimating to being awake, where my body is like, slow down, fella, you're not ready for all that. And that did not happen today. Now, again, I'm not saying this mattress solves everything, but there's definitely some difference. And I bet if I try to incorporate some more techniques, I might be able to get even better results. Like, I've just never concentrated on my sleeping, but it seems like now's the time, right? It's not that you can't depend on anyone. It's that you shouldn't expect to. Like, you walk down the aisle or stand in front of that judge and you're thinking, this is going to be my partner forever. But what you probably don't consider is all the moments it won't feel like it. Those moments when you'll feel alone in a packed mid-sized sedan on a Sunday drive. And not to mention those times when there's physical distance between you. See, that assumption of presence is what makes the loneliness you'll feel so much worse. How can you be in the same home with someone and still feel so distant? I don't have the answer to these questions. I just know that it's real, and I'm not the only one that's experienced it. So my loneliness, for what it's worth, is just as temporary as that same feeling in a crowded home on a cul-de-sac. Intense when you feel it, and forgotten when you don't.